I have been seeing a lot of great bootlegs lately, but I think these ones take the cake. I think they're the best looking bootlegs I've ever seen, but you'll have to be the judge of that. Let's open them up, check them out, and of course do some toy photography. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a couple of boots. Yes, I've got two bootleg action figures right here, and I swear every time I order these stinking things from AliExpress, I always mark come with a box, and then I never get the stinking box. Like, what the heck? Venom, dude, we can't get started this early, man. I'm talking about boots over here. Anyway, it would be nice to have the boxes, so there's a little bit of presentation for videos like this. Instead, I've got just some black bags, and don't mind the Dr. Pepper. They're holding up my boots.
What's that Dr. Pepper?
Both of these are Wolverine bootleg figures made by CT Toys, which CT Toys seems to be really becoming very popular in the action figure world. They basically just take Mafex figures and they slap their name on them and sell them for way cheap, essentially. And I mean, they're definitely not quite at the quality as a Mafex figure. They're still very good, but please, let's not pretend and try to fool ourselves into thinking they're at the same quality at Mafex. They're not quite there, but they're still incredible, and the prices are even more incredible. So that's why we like them here. We love boots in this house, and CT Toys seems to be doing more of them. So this will be the first video that I'll be calling these videos a booting and reviewing instead of my normal shooting and reviewing, booting and reviewing, because these are boots. So be prepared for a whole lot more bootleg videos coming. I'm really gonna dive into it and just order pretty much all of these CT Toy ones and any other ones you guys recommend. Please let me know in the comments what other bootleg figures should I grab off of AliExpress. I know they take a while to show up, but I want to make videos on them, so definitely let me know in the comments which ones, and make sure you're subscribed for sure. So like I was saying, I got these figures on AliExpress for about a little under $20 a piece or so. That's really the best place, in my opinion, to go to get these kinds of things, but of course be careful. You never really know what you're getting as far as these bootleg figures from somewhere like AliExpress. You know, they have some chemicals on them. There's a warning that sounds unsafe, so just be aware of that kind of thing. I'll have the link in the description for the ones that I bought if you want to pick these guys up, but without any further ado, let's slap these guys open. Let's go. So CT Toys, like, I think are they changing their name to Mess Toys? I've seen that too, but honestly, it blows my mind how they're able to be as successful and be as popular in the community as they are, because they're just ripping people off and sticking their own sticker on the box too. Like, it's crazy to me how how they're still able to do it. I mean, I'm not complaining, but it's crazy. Like, how do you have your own brand of bootlegs? Like, bootleg and brand, it's just like contradictory. It's crazy to me, but I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. I unfortunately don't have the actual Mafex of either of these figures. Sorry, kind of like the last one that I did, but honestly, most of the time people buy these as a alternative, you know, especially because the price is so high on these guys specifically right now, so it's a great alternative. And wow, he really does feel good. These knees and everything are nice and stiff. The ankles, like I said, are very, very, very good. The head did come not on. I was able to pop it back on. Man, this is pretty legit. It really is. The bootleg world is crazy. It blows my mind how CT Toys specifically even exists. Wow, he feels like a Mafex. He really does. So with this guy, he doesn't feel quite as good. Yeah, hear those clicks? Those are not like the good kinds of clicks, kind of like in my last video. Yes, that's what I'm looking for. That's kind of like strain on the joints. I mean, I like it. It feels good when it does that, but I mean, it's not like loose joints, which that's the killer for me. When a joint's loose, it's a little bit weird moving that leg around. Well, there's that, but that's fine. Pop in nice and good. Neck and head is good. I mean, they're pretty dang good. They look pretty fantastic. I don't really have a whole lot of complaints. I mean, $20 is still a decent amount for a figure. That's more like normal price. Some bootlegs are like $9, you know. These definitely live up to the hype that I see CT Toys getting all the time, you know, just by fooling around with them. So even for just like paint and detail on these guys, they're also pretty incredible. They might honestly be the best looking bootlegs I've ever seen. You know, all the bootlegs usually have like paint imperfections or little molding like pieces flying off or something, and there's really a minimal amount of that, and barely none. Like there's a little bit, like he's got a little bit on his mask and a little bit on his back a little bit, and he's got some on his chest, and there's a little bit on the face and on his arms. Like it's very slight, very minimal, but it's there. But I'm just blown away how much less it is. It seems like they're just getting better and better, and I'm just blown away by it. So I really do believe that these are the best looking bootlegs I've ever seen. I think they are. So getting these two figures together might actually be a pretty great thing to do, because they're basically the same figure. They're the same exact figure, really, except for he's got shoulder pads and there's some different colors going on. And that's fine. That's just the nature of the designs of the character. And so I think, for the most part, all the accessories will be interchangeable. And more specifically, the masks and the heads. So each one of them comes with 2 different heads. So I've got a bunch of heads. Wait, which one comes with which? I'm pretty sure this brown suit one over here comes with this little smirking masked face, as well as a mouth open screaming unmasked face. And then the blue version over here comes with this very intense masked face and this kind of stoic, this kind of stoic looking unmasked face, which are all great. And the fact that you can have and switch them off with either is kind of awesome. And now that I'm looking at it, these faces are wild. Like, another thing about these CT toy figures is the face sculpts are so good, and the paint on them it really does rival the actual Mafex. It really does. It's not quite there. Like, this one's got a slight imperfection on the left cheek. You can tell if you look real close, but pretty dang good, if you ask me. They're just about there. So I think we can interchange these guys perfectly, I think. So here we are with a couple of headless Wolverines. And so if we were to check out this face right here, which is specifically for the brown figure, let's put it on the yellow one and see. Oh, wait. Does that look small? Maybe it's not interchangeable. That looks pretty small. Okay, let's put this one on, because this one comes with the yellow. Yeah, there's a little bit of a difference. It's slightly smaller. It is, but it's not that bad. Is it just me, or is it slightly smaller? That's gotta be. So, does it look small on the other head too? Maybe this is just a small head. Yeah, I think just this head is a little bit too small. It's close enough. Either way, it's close enough, but I do think this head is a little bit smaller. All right, let's test it out with the unmasked heads. So this head is supposed to come with the brown suit. Oh, hello. And then this head is supposed to come with the blue suit. Yeah, those work perfectly. They definitely work perfectly. And I think the brown figure itself does just stand a little bit taller. But yeah, those are totally interchangeable. I think this is just a weird head. That's it. It's just a weird head, and that's fine. So my theory works. You can interchange the heads. Awesome. As far as hands go, you've got the same exact set of hands, which is really just some claw hands as well as some open hands. So I don't think you'll really be interchanging that at all. The claw hands are actually different. This is way longer and straighter, and these are a little shorter and more rounded, which I didn't realize. It's kind of cool. And switching the hands on and off was very easy. So very cool. Very, very cool. Last but not least, you've got the hooded little hoodie thingies that can go right on their back. Just pop their heads off, put them around, kind of like a Lego cape. That's kind of how that works. Cool. Yeah, I'm not thinking you're gonna really want to interchange those. And as far as posing goes, yeah, you've got everything you need. You can get all those iconic Wolverine poses and crunch them up and get them in whatever you need to, just like you would a Mafex. You know, sometimes with the brown suit, it's a little bit, you hear those little clicky click clicks, and it's not totally perfect all the time, but that's okay. Just mess with them a little bit, you can get those poses. And articulation and posing is spot on. That's what Mafex is, one of the things Mafex is known for. So the fact you can do that with these is pretty great. And they do come with a stand too, by the way, which functions quite well. You know, sometimes stands kind of totally suck. And they're not really able to hold the weight of the figure. Luckily the figure's pretty light, so it's not a huge problem. And to be honest, I'm actually having a lot of fun posing these guys. Like, he's very posable. There's so much potential for posing with him. So these should probably be the same height as a normal Mafex, which is, including the tips of those masks, those cowls, he's just under 6 inches, just barely under 6 inches. So as I said, I unfortunately don't have the actual Mafex to compare it to, but I do want to compare it to some of the other CT toys that I've got. So these are the only 2 CT toys that I've had before, bootlegs. The Mafex Black Suit Spider-Man over here, he definitely scales perfectly, but this Tobey Maguire one, which was pretty cool, it's scaled down a lot. I mean, it's not a Mafex boot, it's an SH Figuarts boot. It's still really downsized, so he doesn't really scale quite as much. He's probably on the bottom as far as the CT toy boot ranking goes, but they do look nice together. They certainly do. Also, to compare to some other Wolverines that are yellow, we've got the Deadpool and Wolverine Marvel Legends, and we've got the Mezco Wolverine, which are both really wonderful figures. The Mezco one kind of scales a little bit. He's around the same height, maybe a little bit taller actually, and obviously the Marvel Legends is way bigger, but they still kind of look cool all together, all these yellow boys. And so if you were looking to have like a Wolverine hang on, let's start over. So if you were looking to have maybe a Hulk versus Wolverine kind of battle, well, this is the Diamond Select Hulk, which is such a great figure. And he's already kind of big and he's a little bit small, so the height difference is just beautiful in my opinion. This is a great comparison. This would be a really fun shot to have these two. Definitely a great comparison. I love the way these two scale. Okay, so what are we giving them? A W or an L? This is an easy W. This is such an amazing bootleg. I cannot believe how good it is. I was impressed with the last CT toys, but I still had some meh kind of feelings, but I don't have a lot of meh feelings, or many at all, so he's a W. For the price, it's incredible. $20 each. For something of this quality that's just literally almost a Mafex, easy. This is a straight up stinking W. Wow, what do you think? Is it a W, an L, an M? I'm pretty prepared for people to just say W in the chat, but I'm still very curious to know. Let me know in the comments. It's a W for me. Well, with such a beautifully posable, awesome Wolverine, I have to do some toy photography in this booting and reviewing video. And it's snowy out. I think we can do something with that snow, which would look awesome. So yeah, let's go and take a shot. Alright, well, this big glowing area here, which will hopefully adjust right now, is Wolverine. And he's in the forest, and there's blood on the snow because he just killed somebody. And so, if you see here, oh, look at all those sticks in the ground. Well, it's kind of like a little forest if you look in camera. Pretty cool, right? So if you're ever like, oh man, I wish I could do toy photography, but I don't have expensive dioramas. Well, me neither. I just have sticks, and I stick them in the ground, and there's my free diorama. I call it the stick trick. For anyone who's followed me for years, they know the stick trick. But anyway, yeah, I've just really calculatedly placed each stick to really make it look like Wolverine is chilling in the forest, and it looks pretty good. And I really like this little pile of snow that I set it up on because it looks like there's some real cool elevation changes. It looks like it's kind of in the middle of the woods. And right now the sky, because the sun is setting and the sky is blue, and you can kind of see that dark blue background, which really I wasn't planning on, and I'm really kind of happy with it. So I took a little bit of this, which is just water and food coloring, and I just kind of threw some on the ground very carefully. I didn't want to have too much, and I purposefully put it only on the side there. I didn't want it to look like it was Wolverine's blood. I wanted it to look like he just killed somebody, and that's the blood. And I think it worked out quite nicely. And so my other thing I'm going to do is take a little bit of snow and throw it on top and get some snow falling, and it's going to be a pretty cool shot, to be honest. I'm quite excited for it. And so these are my settings right now. I'm at 500 for my shutter speed, which is still pretty fast considering how dark it is. To be at 500 is pretty nice. So 500 is fast enough for me to still capture some nice snowfall that's going to be happening. And my aperture is at 2.5. So 2.5 is good for a nice blurry background, but it also brightens up your photo. So it also helps a lot with getting a faster shutter speed during the dark like this, when you need that light. It's good for low light, and I'm quite happy about that. Also, my ISO is at 400, as it always is. So really the main point with this is the faster shutter speed is going to help with the snow, and then the 2.5 is going to help make that shutter speed possible. So what I've done with the lighting, it's very simple lighting setup. I've only placed 2 lights behind Wolverine. He's not going to be perfectly lit in the shot, but he's going to be lit enough to the point where there's nice kind of a silhouette of Wolverine and some rim lighting around him, and that's really, I think, going to work quite nicely. Of course, if you want some of the lights I'm using, the camera, all the gear I'm using is all linked in the description. I've got discounts on the Lume Cube. It's all there, as always, so don't forget to check that stuff. It's in the description. Let me shut up and actually take this shot before my hands freeze. Oh my god, it's cold. So yeah, I think I can safely confirm these are the best looking bootlegs I've ever seen, or definitely the best ones that I own. I'm really curious to know what you think though. Are these also like the best ones you've seen, or are there even better ones out there that have even blown your mind more than these have blown mine? Either way, they photograph nicely, and I'm very happy with the photo. Thank you so much for watching and getting this far into the video. If you did enjoy it, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel. This photo, as always, will be posted up onto Instagram and TikTok and Twitter, and if you want to follow my work on any of those platforms, it's all linked in the video description, and I do post a bit more different types of content on all of those platforms if you're interested. And like I said, I really do appreciate you watching and getting this far into the video, and I really hope to see you in the next one.